Hello and welcome to Coping with Donald. I'm Phil. It is early evening on June 28th, 2025, and I'm back. I'm back from my trip where I saw my daughter, and I gotta be honest, nothing like a 6-hour trip to Seattle and then another 6-hour trip back to Florida almost 2 weeks later to give me a wake-up call on how old I really am. Boy, am I tired. And today, of course, in the Florida heat, it doesn't help. It was like a gazillion degrees, but at this hour, I see it showing only 80, which I find it like almost impossible to believe. And I went out for my walk this morning, picked up a few food items. Buy one, get one, of course. My mantra. Came back and had to take a 2-hour nap in the afternoon. I'm awake now. I actually sound okay now, which amazes me. So let's get to it. While I was away, I didn't follow the news every day. Of course, I knew about the Iran bombing and the Israel bombing of Iran. Of course I knew about those things, but I wasn't exactly up on it because, to be honest, most of the people I was with didn't want me to be up on it and didn't want it on the background, stuff like that. So I'm still not really caught up, but I'm caught up enough to be upset. But I'm going to talk about something else really quickly, something more recent. Well, anyway. It's about Canada. And Donald Trump has used a reason to stop negotiations with Canada as far as tariffs go. Donald Trump uses reasons not related to his actions. For example, his actions on schools. Oh, you hired a couple of black people, so we're going to discontinue funding. With that, he got a university president to resign because they didn't take enough action against diversifying the workforce. They wanted to hire who they wanted to hire. I thought American capitalism was supposed to stay away from those things. But Trump always uses money. I won't fund you, blah, blah, blah. I'll make you pay taxes, blah, blah, blah. But it's always for something not related to the fact that he just doesn't like the university, like Harvard. He wants to punish them. Canada has a 2.5% digital tax on a 2.5% tax on digital services that they get from the United States. And Trump has used that to say, oh, we're breaking off all negotiations. The hell with these people. But there's actually one other thing behind it. And it has nothing to do with the digital tax. Of course it doesn't. First of all, the digital tax is not being imposed now. It was imposed last year, before the election. It's been in place. And Trump's acting like it's some new thing. So therefore, we must punish Canada. But what else did Canada do last week? Very important. This was a big thing. After the G7, Canada came out and they said, you know what, United States? Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. We don't believe in what you believe anymore. You have stunned us to where we don't even recognize you. With your authoritarianism, with your fascism, with your marginalization of certain peoples. We're closer to Europe than to you. We don't believe in your lack of humanity. We believe in our humanity. And we're not going to change that to conform with your dog-eat-dog world. And what a threat that is to America, isn't it? That's why the government that's in place now hates Europe, hates Canada, because they want dog-eat-dog. They want a world of grift. You want to talk about a new world order? It's a new world grift. Just grift. And to keep that in place, they have to control everything. They have to withdraw education from people and health care to keep the masses subdued. Boy, I hate sounding like Karl Marx, but I have to. I have to. For somebody to get the point. The United States needs Canada to say, oh yeah, you know what, we hate the groups that you hate, and we hate immigrants, and we hate everybody who's not rich and white. Well, they're just rich. You can be rich in whatever you want as long as you're rich. And you don't try to change things to benefit people over the rich. And that's basically what we've got here. Canada said, no, we're going to try to keep our people from starving to death and dying of a preventative disease. And we're going to try to keep people from harming each other because they don't like their religion or their views on life or their politics. Okay? And that's why he wants to punish Canada. That's why, because he's saying, unless you totally get rid of your empathy, which Elon Musk said, empathy makes you weak. Unless you get rid of your empathy and become as hard-ass as we are and hate the people we do and use the government to suppress the people the way that we now do in America, you're not with us. You're either with us or against us, and you're not with us. Another thing that I'm going to repeat this, but this was somebody else's idea and on Facebook, and it was an excellent idea. After the Iran bombings, Tom Homan came on and said, oh, there's tens of thousands of Iranians in the United States in sleeper cells. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Well, apparently the one who's afraid is Tom Homan. I mean, you would think that with his unlimited power, Gestapo power, his declaration that he was going to get criminals, you would think he'd look for these tens of thousands of Iranians. But no, it's easier to take people who were living here perfectly legally and then say, okay, we're taking that status away, so now you're illegal, you're breaking the law, you have to go. That they're good at. Finding Iranians in sleeper cells who supposedly want to kill Americans, they're not so good at that. If so, then Tom Homan should be relieved of duty and somebody else should take his place. And I guess you could say that all across the Homeland Security Board. Director of FBI, Kash Patel, all of them. Think about it. And like I said, this isn't my idea. I'm not claiming the genius of this. Somebody else pointed it out to me on Facebook. If you think that that many mass murderers, possible mass murderers, exist in our country, why aren't you looking for them? Why are you getting rid of people who are saying, I will vote for Donald Trump? Oh my God. And boy, oh boy, what a disaster that's turning out to be. Really, the Cuban people thought they were white enough. I don't even think I'm white enough. I am sure my daughter, who is half Colombian descent, first generation because her mother was not born here, I am sure that she is not American enough and white enough for Donald Trump, even though she's really very white. She has beautiful skin, too. I love you, kiddo. I know you don't even watch this. I can't even get my own family to watch this, but it's okay. I do it for you, the 3 or 4 people who watch. I do it for myself to get it out of my system. And I am going to make another tape following this one on different things. Not even on Iran again. I think that says it all for itself. The anti-war president, I'm going to keep you out of war. Oh my God. All right. That's enough for this go-around, and I'll see you really soon in another one. Bye.